If you just graduated nursing school and you're a new graduate nurse and you're getting ready to take the NCLEX and you're interested in learning how to pass or how I pass the NCLEX in 75 questions, continue to watch the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. If you have already subscribed, thank you very much and welcome. It's great to have you here. So what I did to pass the NCLEX in 75 questions in under an hour is I studied for 50 hours at least. So for me, what I did, what was really helpful is I used several different sources. I kind of started studying back in nursing school. I bought a NCLEX review book and I got used to taking NCLEX style questions. And what I did while I was still in nursing school was whatever content we were studying, I would study the content and then I would, study out of my book and do my notes, my reading, the lectures, things like that. And then I would go to my NCLEX review guide. I use the Saunders and I would study that section. So if we were in cardiology, I'd study cardiology. If we were mom and baby, I'd study mom and baby. If we did GI, I studied GI. And I got used to doing those questions. So I recommend that for anybody who's still in nursing school. That definitely was a big help to get used to taking those NCLEX style questions. Then when I got out of nursing school, I graduated December 15th, 2017. Whoop whoop. I just graduated not too long ago. And I took my NCLEX January 11th. It was a Thursday. It was a warm day here. Took it at 8 a.m. I walked out of there at 9:08 on the dot. Went home late in bed. But I digress. So I have several tips for you that will help you pass the NCLEX in 75 questions. Tip number one is I got an NCLEX style or NCLEX review book. My review book that I used a couple of them, but the main one I used for content was Saunders. The Saunders NCLEX RN review I feel like was wonderful. There's two parts to it. So you have the book, the physical book itself, and it goes over content. Like it goes through every single section that you have covered in nursing school, from prenatal, postnatal, high-risk newborn, high-risk maternity, to GI, GU. It covers the whole gamut. So I used the physical book in nursing school and just kind of do a review. Like my weak area was mom and baby. So I made sure that the first thing I did when I got in nursing school was I studied mom and baby. That was the first thing I did. And I did the content. And then the second part is my school used the Evolve HESI packet. And I hear a lot of schools are going that way. Some still use ATI, some use others. I just know what I use in my nursing school. So I used that, and then with us being able to use HESI and Evolve, if you look in the beginning of the Saunders book, it has a link to follow as far as hooking the book up to their website, and you have like over 5,000 questions. And what I loved about Saunders was that these questions you could either do traditional style questions like, the regular multiple choice, or you did alternative questions. So that was your hot spot. That was your multiple choice. And I got so many select all that apply on my NCLEX, it wasn't even funny. Like I had well over 20, 30. A big part of it was select all that apply. So yeah, you can choose. You can pick and choose. And I'm going to drop a link down below so you can see what book that I used. And I think they came out with the new one for the new year. So that's my first tip. So my tip number two is I would get a Kaplan book. I would not say do the Kaplan whole in-class review. I mean, I know people who did do it and they did very well on the test, but I also, I just read the book. And what I liked about the book, the Kaplan review book, and I think you can get it for like $60 at Barnes & Noble, is it taught you how to kind of break down the question. So it taught you how to look at the question and figure out if this question was either a physiological problem you need to deal with or was it psychosocial. And once you could figure out which kind of topic it was covering, then you could go further and answer the question, I feel like, with no problem. So I feel like that was very helpful. I read the book from end to end, and I did the questions, and I did good. Some people, they don't mind paying X amount of $100 for the review class. That wasn't me. I didn't have the kind of money to spend. I was, taking NCLEX on a budget, so I had to do what was best for me, what worked for me, and that was just buying the book. So my third tip is to study, and then figure out another way to study, make some time and study. So I say that because they tell you need to at least study for 50 hours before you take the NCLEX. And I know that kind of seems like a lot of time, but it's not really. So like I said, I graduated in December 17th or December 15th. I think my diploma, my actual pinning date was the 15th, and my diploma says the 17th because that's when it was official. But and then I took my test a month later. So 50 hours in about 4 weeks, that's not, it's not a crazy amount of time. So for me, what I did was I did 4 hours a day studying. I would go to the library at 8 o'clock. Let me back up a little bit. So when I scheduled my exam, I scheduled it for 8 o'clock in the morning. So I knew that I had to study and be prepared at 8 o'clock in the morning. I had to get my body, because it's a physical thing as well. Like, you have to get used to sitting in one spot for at least, you're not prepared for it. They tell you can take up to 6 hours on the NCLEX. So that's kind of how I was thinking, was like, when I sat down to study, I went to the library where I could not be interrupted. And I got one of those, the library that I go to, the public library, you can actually get a room for 4 hours. So that's what I did. I rented a room for 4 hours, or, reside in the room for myself for 4 hours. And I would sit down and I would just do NCLEX questions. And the app that I used was RN Mastery, NCLEX RN Mastery. And I love that app because it, it's really, what I like about it is that it's just questions. So Founders has a lot of content. Kaplan kind of teach you how to break down a question. And then NCLEX RN Mastery, boom, it's just questions, and that's it. Like, I think they have like 1,800 questions that you can do. So I really like that about them. So I would sit down at 8 o'clock and I would do 75 questions. I would stop, take a break, eat a snack, play on Facebook for a little bit, whatever, do whatever. And then I would take like a 10-minute break, and then I'd stop, take the break, and then get back. So my fourth tip is you have to relax. You have to go in with the confidence and feeling like this test won't make or break me, and you have to go in like it's any other exam. And why do I say that? And, of course, it's easier said than done, but not really. The day of the test, the day before the test, I didn't do anything. I deleted all my apps. I deleted all my RN Mastery app. I deleted my school apps. I deleted everything. I did not do anything related to the NCLEX at all. I was invited to come back to my school that I graduated from and talk to the new class that was getting ready in their last semester. So I did that, and then I went to lunch with a friend. I just kind of tooled around the day before. I also didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew. My family knew, and my very best nursing school friend knew that I was going to take my NCLEX. So there wasn't any pressure. So I didn't hear from anybody, because it's going to sound weird, but those good luck, oh my God, I'm so happy for you, those text messages, or, that kind of thing kind of puts the pressure on, like, oh God, people know, like, oh my God, no. So you have to relax. And then the morning of the NCLEX, I had started meditating after I graduated, I was going through some personal things, and I refused to be stressed about this test because I needed to pass the test. Like, so many things in my personal life and, you know, I felt like was riding on this test that I need to pass it so bad that I had to take a step back and kind of, I guess, reverse psychology myself. That's the thing. I had to psych myself out but in for it. And so that's what I did. The day I started meditating, I kind of started visualizing myself passing the test. And people, you know, they laugh and they scoff, but I feel like because I visualized myself being an RN, I visualized myself having my name on the nurse registry for my state. I feel like I visualized those things and it came to fruition. So I feel like it worked for me. Maybe it worked for you. I mean, you want it bad enough, you put in the work for it. But I also did do 150 questions a day at minimum. I also did very well in nursing school. I was fortunate never to have to take another test. So, you know, never have to take a class over again, things like that. I am very well versed in nursing content when I graduated nursing school. So I think that also did give me a good footing because I didn't have to like learn anything. If anything, I just had to kind of concentrate my knowledge or concrete my knowledge in certain areas. And so I feel like that was very helpful, knowing my weak areas so I could focus on those. So yeah, that's what it felt like helped me, you know. So the day of the test, I got up early. I got up like 5:30, but I kind of always get up about that time. I don't know. I'm an early bird. I work better in the day. I need my nap. So yeah, I got up about 5:30. I ate a piece of toast with peanut butter on it because I was, you know, had those butterflies going. I wasn't terribly nervous. I think I had more like excited energy because I kept telling myself like, I'm going to get my NCLEX today, or I'm going to get my RN license today. I'm going to go slay this test real quick. I'll be back 75 in and out. That's what I told myself, and that's what I walked out with. So yeah, I didn't drink any coffee because I didn't want to be jittery, and coffee kind of messed with my stomach a little bit, so I didn't want to do all that. But I drank a water and took a water with me. But yeah, then I was there. You have to be there at least 30 minutes early for your exam. So I was there by 7:30, which they tell you to do if you look on the Pearson VUE NCLEX website. It has a list of things you need to do before the testing and test day. So yeah, yeah, those are my tips. I hope you enjoyed this video very much. I actually enjoyed making it. It's one of my first YouTube videos. So if you could like and subscribe down below. If you would like to see more videos from me related to NCLEX or NCLEX preparation or NCLEX review, I would love to do those kind of videos. Or if you have any other questions of like how or what I did to make it through nursing school, some of the things that I felt really helped me study for cardiology exams or GI exams or any other content, drop a comment down below. I'd be glad to do those videos. I plan on making this a community of nursing students or post-nursing students in their first year like myself. So yeah, like and subscribe. Thank you.